Hello, I just wanted to come on here and say something that has been on my mind um, for a minute and I think has some significance within today's world. So it has to do with Micah 7 verse 14. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. So what I find that as is in the tribulation, what will happen is the people that go within the fruitful field, go within the forest, and find contemption within that are the ones that will survive, are the ones that will take upon the new world by which God has given us. So that idea of a fruitful field really kind of captures my imagination because I'm really deep into natural farming. It's a form of farming that uses no fertilizers and no water and uses the processes that nature uses to grow food. So I just like to think for a minute about how this idea of a fruitful field. So I believe that every forest has a fruitful field. Why do I believe that? Because I think I found the fruitful field in a forest near my house. So it's at a place called Riverbend Park. Now, I'm really passionate about wild citrus, and there's wild citrus there, along with star fruit, um, egg fruit, um, mangoes, sea plums, sea grapes, acerola cherries. There's a lot of fruit there that you wouldn't normally find. And the reason I say you wouldn't normally find it is because I went searching at another park near my house, kind of, called Jonathan Dickinson. So, and I couldn't find anything there. Couldn't find any fruit there. And I thought, this is weird. And then I started to kind of understand Micah a little better. This idea of the fruitful field within the forest. And I was in Riverbend and I was like, this place is a fruitful field of this forest. And moreover, what I would like to say is it's been inhabited for 5,000 years, Riverbend. So anyway, it's been inhabited for 5,000 years by Native Americans. And in the Second Seminole War, it was the last stand between the Native Americans of Southeast Florida, or I'm sorry, the Seminoles and the Everglades. And it took three generals. The first one failed, the second one failed, the third one finally was able to defeat the stronghold that they had at Riverbend Park. And it has these beautiful old growth oak and cypress trees. So one thing about the fruitful field that I think is amazing, and I'm starting to put the pieces together, there's this farm in Vero Beach that was actually recently just sold about a month, maybe 2 months ago. And the guy's YouTube channel is Florida Natural Farming. I've been there a couple times, and it seems like that is a fruitful field. in that forest in Vero Beach, an hour away from me. So this idea of the fruitful field is everywhere, I believe, now, and that every field, every forest has its own area that at one point, or still is, a fruitful field. And if you start to understand the way that Native Americans north of here practiced agriculture, how they only found wild plums in areas that were Native American agricultural areas, it really starts to kind of put the pieces together that there are fruitful fields within the forest, right? And I believe that it is like this, the trees or whatever hold the knowledge of the field. And so, for example, at Florida Natural Farming's farm, there are these massive, like majestically massive, old growth, not live oaks, the other one. Sorry, I just had to think for a minute. Laurel oaks. So they're these massive laurel oaks, which are the tallest oak trees around here. So live oaks go spread far. They have like huge, long branches, but laurel oaks get really tall and they're really beautiful. And so I'm sure that they were at least 300 years old. So they were there a time before colonization of Florida, at least. Riverbend has never been logged. I looked at the history. It's never been logged, which is very rare for Florida, especially the cypress trees. The cypress trees there are some of the most beautiful cypress trees I've ever seen. They have to be 500 plus years old. Just think of the knowledge that a 500 plus year old cypress tree must have. And so really, when we put it all together, the Lord has these beings on the earth that know of his plan, that know of his ways, that know what he wants for the earth. And when we ask those beings, they will answer us. They do answer us. And so, for example, Florida Natural Farming, his way of farming is very extreme for our time today, but it is truthful. It is Eden. It is amazing. And he said, he sat down in the land and he asked it, what do I do? How do I farm these exotic fruit trees? And they gave him an answer. And he has bestowed that answer upon the people that will listen to him. And so I think that these massive old growth trees, they know the answer. And they know the land, and they can feel the land. And when you walk through the land, you know this is a fruitful field, right? This is an area that God said, you, my people, and the last days will find shelter within. Out of this land will come my world, my people. So I just like to say that. All right, let's end with a prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us this amazing world. Dear Lord, thank you for enacting your plan, Lord. Dear Lord, thank you for your love and your grace upon us people. Dear Lord, thank you for the trees, thank you for the springs, and thank you for nature. Amen.